issue of identity is something that is very complex and very difficult to tackle, especially in our Zimbabwean situation, where we as young people, we really do not really know what it really means to be a Zimbabwean now.
Welcome to African Catholic Youth Voices, a podcast service of the Pan-African Catholic Theology and Pastoral Network. My name is Sister Titilayo, a sister of St. Michael the Archangel, and I'm your host today. And here with me are young people from Zimbabwe BBI Cohort. So my dear friends, let's move on. So you talked about living in a highly disintegrated society where your voices are not heard and not listened to. I sympathize with you actually, but can you shed more light on this, particularly from the perspective of the church institutions, your parish, your diocese, so on, and even the society at large?
Okay, thank you, sister. So, in our society, the church and the community at large, there is clarification of the poor and the rich, whereby the youths are the most attacked groups, whereby they are the poor because of unemployment, as my brother Tsuro said. So we have been facing clarification, whereby we're being excluded in many things because we are poor. Also, single families are not being recognized. For example, single mothers are prohibited to the sacrament. Even in church, single mothers are seen as outcasts in the society. So we are not being included. There is clarification. Also, the disability is not being included even in the liturgy or in the society. They look down upon the disabled people. And we have got the youth that are disabled, and they also end up taking drugs because they are being isolated and they feel like they're outcast in the society. Thank you.
Yes, yeah, even in the church, these people are not recognized, they are not cared for.
Yeah, they are not cared for.
Oh, sorry. Kevin, you share that notion too, that even in the church, we don't care for the poor, the disabled, physically challenged, the poor, some of them are taken into drugs. It's the same with you?
Yeah, it's partially the same.
Kevin.
I think that it's partially the same. I think that this occurs in some parishes, some institutions. They try to put measures to accommodate them, but in some institutions, it's something else. Like as my brother Munashe said, young people they are not really given spaces in church, in the area of leadership, to lead parishes. They're not really given that much space. It's like for us as Africans, probably, they believe that maybe knowledge, you acquire knowledge through age or through experience or so. So as young people, we are seen as people who have no experience in church. So we are not given places to lead. If we are to be given space to lead, we are given non-significant roles such that our voices really are not heard. So I think that we are not really being given space in church such that some young people end up leaving the church because they have no active participation in the church.
Okay, thank you very much for bringing that point out clearly. That many people are not given the chance in the church. They are not given maybe leadership role. And I could remember Holy Father telling you that you should not force this role for yourself. It will come. Because he also said, now rightly said, that we believe in Africa that leadership comes by age. So it will come, but don't force yourself. But the little task you are given as young people, do you do? Do you recognize that? Do you participate? even in the cleaning of the church, the surroundings, doing, giving young people, teaching them catechism, participating in choir, being part of lay readers. Do you partake in all this as young people in Zimbabwe? Gracious?
As young people, I believe that when they give us the opportunity to participate, we participate. But as youth, we have this tendency of saying, no, we want a higher position, not a lower position. You find out that as individuals, we can find ourselves that, no, I don't deserve this one. But we don't really consider these minor positions. We take it lightly, but that is where these older people notice that this person deserves a post, but we don't appreciate the small post that we have. Yes, I agree that in our churches, as youth, we are not being given some higher positions, and there's this tendency to focus on the opinions and perspectives of older members who may have experience, and they are being taken as the more knowledgeable. So I can find that this results in younger members feeling marginalized or ignored, and their contribution to the community may be overlooked. But I can say that as young people, we don't recognize this smaller posts that we have. We need higher posts. Maybe there's need of what can I say, a council for the young people, whereby we can give our own views, our perspectives in this advisory council, so that we can have the leadership skills and develop confidence in expressing our ideas and advocate for our beliefs.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. For how you three young people from Zimbabwe have been discussing and conversing with me on the different issues, you are really doing well. And this issue of the roots, remember, the Holy Father in his response to you has asked you to be aware of your roots. And by this roots, was talking about your culture and your traditions and even your identity. He believes that if young people don't care about these roots, which they receive from their families, from the church, and from the society, they cannot fully grow into maturity. Now, let me ask you, how much are you connected, young people in Zimbabwe? How much are you connected to these roots? Kevin, how much are young people connected to these roots?
I think that is young people, sister. We have detached ourselves from the roots. As I said earlier on, that we have lost a sense of identity. So we are not really connected to our roots. We have plugged ourselves, so to say, from our roots, because now to identify myself with maybe being Zimbabwean, being African, is something that maybe can be now be considered to be archaic. Maybe now we are talking of globalization. Globalization has made some of our cultural practices to seem to be repugnant, and so now we can no longer really practice them. We can no longer really see the value that is in our African roots.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Munashe, do you agree with Kevin that young they get from their families and by this to meet their culture, their identity, their traditions, and all that? Are you disconnected?
Okay, thank you, sister. Okay, in sometimes we can say that we are still connected to our culture in the church, because I believe in liturgy, when the use of instruments and celebrating it in our own culture, when we are singing, it proves that we still have the connection with the culture, but that culture only manifests in liturgy. But after that, we tend to forget about the culture. In Zimbabwe, we have a culture of like Kurova Guva, which is bringing the dead back. But as the youth, we're forgetting about that. We don't participate in that type of culture. So I feel like we have disconnected ourselves from the culture that we the roots that our country.
Oh, thank you very much. So you believe that in some aspects you are still connected to the roots, but in some aspects you are disconnected. Is gracious. Do you believe that you are so much connected or you are so much disconnected with the roots?
I believe that we are diluted as the young people. We are not really connected and we are also not really disconnected. So you can find out as myself, I was raised in a way that I know my family's values, its cultural heritage, and personally, I've been raised to appreciate and celebrate our customs and beliefs, but other people, their cultures and their beliefs, they're being diluted because you can find themselves doing some things that they don't follow. They are not of their beliefs, I can say. And some people, they attend church masses regularly where they are being taught their values, traditions, and faiths, and they are aware of their roots, which gave them the understanding of who they are and where they come from. But we are not really connected to our roots. Our culture is diluted. We are diluted.
Okay, now that you see that we are not so much connected, how do we connect or reconnect these roots? There's no way you will have your nation, your society, if you are disconnected. If the values, the culture, and the traditions of the church and of the nation is one way, and the young people are in another way, and there is nothing bringing them together, then the nation will not grow, the youth will not grow. So we must find a way of coming back to our roots, finding our roots, retracing your roots, and stick to that root. So the task that the Holy Father has asked you to do. So please, in your cohort, talk to people, organize. I've already mentioned this. Organize seminars, workshops, talk shows, and all that, so that people can reconnect to their youth. Thank you very much. And lastly, I would like to ask you that about the culture of Ubuntu, that is, I am because we are because I am. As young Zimbabweans, what do you think about living fully and celebrating this rich culture of Ubuntu in your church and nation as a whole?
Okay, I think as the church, we can foster a culture of Ubuntu by emphasizing the importance of inclusivity and creating a welcoming atmosphere for all members in the church, despite of our differences and whatsoever. This can include offering outreach programs for marginalized communities, promoting interfaith dialogues and cooperation, and also encouraging members to be actively involved in the community. And also outside the church, we can also celebrate Ubuntu by recognizing and valuing the diversity of our country and promoting mutual respect and understanding. This involves learning about different cultures, traditions, participating in cultural exchange programs, and advocate for the rights of marginalized communities wherever we are. And we can also promote social justice, that is advocating for policies, initiatives that aim to also alleviate poverty, reduce inequalities, and promote inclusiveness. Because we believe that I am because we are. So that by trying to alleviate poverty, we are trying to bring ourselves together, and we have to also practice forgiveness and reconciliation, because it is an essential part of building relationships and creating a sense of community.
Thank you very much, Gracious. Thank you very much. You have made a whole lot of points here, how we can continue to celebrate that culture of inclusiveness, appreciating everybody within the culture. Thank you. Munashe, do you add to that?
Okay, thank you. I can say Ubuntu promotes restorative justice and community-centric ethos. So we can say we as the youth, we have the ability to dig into our human values, to go for the best of them in order to bring healing and bridging the gap that we have in our societies. So I can say this also even extends to the relationship we have with the nature and also with the animals. If you have humanity, you have a care for the animals and also the nature, because Ubuntu is a sense of self. It's the sense of self that is shaped by the relationship you have with people. So by having a good relationship with people, you are mastering the Ubuntu. So you'll be practicing Ubuntu. So I say on this issue of Ubuntu, it starts from the small communities that we have, and then spreading out. So Ubuntu is very necessary in our communities.
Thank you very much. And lastly, I take from Kelvin your take about this culture of Ubuntu. Kevin.
Yeah, I think that Ubuntu culture that is promoted by Ubuntu philosophy is something that is very practical to live with, because this also resonates with the church. The church is communitarian in nature. Even our worship is public.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. Lastly, I will just ask you to share your experience with us, and or what do you want PACPAN to continue to do to help young people in Africa? BBI, rather. What do you want BBI to continue to do to help young people in Africa? Just in few seconds. Just in few seconds. Munashi, a few seconds. What do you think that BBI should continue to do to help young people in Africa?
Okay, I think BBI should promote Ubuntu in Zimbabwe. Also, the major issue that the youth are facing in Zimbabwe is about drug abuse. So we need more drug abuse campaigns. We need more things that can help to stop the youths from taking the drugs. That's the major issue that we have.
Okay. Gracious?
Okay, I think we should help our young people. The faith influencers should provide guidance, support, and education on leading a faith-filled life that rejects drug influence, because the main problem that we are facing here in Zimbabwe as youth is drug and substance abuse. We have also to organize some awareness campaigns to create a safe space for those who are affected, and to offer counseling, guidance, and support towards the vulnerable and the most affected ones.
Thank you very much, Kevin Suro from St. John Fisher's and More National Seminary in Zimbabwe. Wazania Gracious from Catholic University of Zimbabwe. Munache Muchero from University of Zimbabwe. Dear brothers and sisters, we have been listening to the voices of young people from Zimbabwe. They have been discussing with us about their challenges of economic migration and how they will solve the challenges of continuous taking drugs among young people. We look forward to great things that they will do for God, the church, and society at large. Thank you for being part of this episode, dear brothers and sisters. Until next episode, when we will bring you a fresh perspective from African Catholic youth voices, especially the voices of African Catholics, youth African Catholics, who are creating new pathways, which are new signs of hope that will bring them to where God wants them to be. Of course, it is our collective effort to build a continent where our young people can dream tall and achieve their goals in life. See you next time. Until then, remember that you are the church of now, and as such, embrace your role as the present and future of the Catholic Church by building bridges of faith across Africa and the entire universe. Build strong relationship with God and your community, and take good care of our common heritage. Say it again, take good care of our common heritage, the planet Earth. So see you next time. Until then,
Thank you
bye.
so much, sister.
Bye.
Bye.